On this episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers, we talk about teacher dress code. Oh, are you being professional or are you just being another student? And we also talk about school lunches and who can afford them, why students are in the negative. And lastly, we're going to discuss a Grow Your Own Teacher initiative. That's right, you at home can grow your own teacher. Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. My name is Devin, and I'm joined by my buddy, Mr. James Yan. And we are two comedians. I'm a former teacher. He's a parent, current and former. And we're here to make you laugh and hopefully bring a little de-stress to your stressful teaching situation, your teaching day. Now, I'd like to start us off with an interesting topic, Mr. James Yan. One that obviously we are very adamant on here, which is dress code. Ooh, you always come in a nice button-down shirt, and I always have a Smashing Pumpkins t-shirt on. Apparently, we are night and day here on our values of dress code.
Gotcha. I love how you think that's the biggest difference. Okay.
I don't see color. I've told you that.
Understood.
So
I was talking about our weight. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
No, so here's the thing. I see differentiating things on this about teachers, but from a parent's perspective, a lot of teachers are advocating saying, it doesn't matter what I wear. I can wear a t-shirt and I can wear jeans. I don't know why, but I haven't really warmed up to that yet.
Okay.
I get that jeans on a Friday is a good thing. Okay. I think that teachers should maybe be a little bit more relaxed, but I feel like we fight so hard to say we are a profession.
Okay.
That we are professionals. We have to have a 4-year degree. That we should honor our profession by dressing as professionals. I don't know about you, but I would see some of these teachers that were very well dressed with a tie and, nice slacks and put some effort into how they looked. And I'm talking male teachers. Female teachers, they obviously dress professionally as well.
Yeah.
Very conservative, dress and things like that. And I feel like there was a little more respect, that was garnered, especially as teachers roam the halls. I would walk the halls every now and then. And I hated when I walked the halls in jeans and a t-shirt because I felt like it was casual Friday, jeans, t-shirts, cool. But I would walk the halls and I felt like other students didn't respect me
as much
because I was dressed like them.
Got it.
And yet when I walked the halls in a tie and roaming around in my professional attire, it was he's a teacher. I need to respect him. Oh, he said get back to my class.
Absolutely.
He means business.
Yeah.
And yet I see still like a little bit of a pushback on that from younger teachers who say it doesn't matter what I dress as. So I got to ask, parent to teacher.
Okay.
What do you expect? Like you come into open house, how are you going to feel if I'm sitting there in a Smashing Pumpkins t-shirt and jeans and was like, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to teaching your child.
I'm going to immediately move my kid out of your school.
Are you?
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Because you hate the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah,
I knew it.
I do.
knew it.
But if it was a Drake t-shirt,
yeah.
Yeah. No, here's the thing, man. I do see both sides. I see the fact that if you dress a certain way, you get a certain amount of respect. Think of it this way. Would I respect a police officer if they wore like Smashing Pumpkin t-shirts?
If they both, you know how fast you were going? Almost as fast as this Roadhouse t-shirt. You know, I mean, like, it's I don't know.
So I get it. If you want to dress a certain way, like even a button down, some slacks, or even a nice pair of jeans, I can see that. But I don't want you to be too casual either. I don't want to walk in and you're wearing slides. You got on.
And they do.
They do. Yeah, sweatpants and, maybe a hoodie and a beanie.
Yep.
Like that's a little much for me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I also want to tell people what they should wear, but there should be a balance of professionalism when it comes to the way you look.
Yeah, and the way you look, the way you act. I feel like that boundary should be set. When I first started teaching, I was 21. And
That's young.
Right out of college, 21, went right into it. My birthday was in October. School started in August. I wasn't turning 22 yet.
Yeah.
So I was 21.
21 years old. Now, what is that like teaching people your same age?
Here's the thing. I did.
Yeah, I know.
That's the wild thing. They hired me to teach intensive reading for seniors who had failed our state exam, the FCAT, several times, and they were trying to pass. So I taught intensive reading to seniors that were 18, 19, and 20.
Wow.
And I was 21. Now, what I had to do right off the bat, knowing the age range, I had to establish who I was. Ty. I had to come in ready, in business attire and go, hi, I'm the professional here. I went through college all those times you were going through senior again. And I'm here to show you that this is what a professional is. And and I feel like I did a pretty good job. But then, don't know.
Not too casual. Don't go overboard.
I try to side with teachers, and I tried to listen to them. There seems to be an overwhelming push to have more casualness. And I will say, you walk through the halls now, and from when I first started teaching in 2007 to now, there's a lot more T-shirts. There's a lot more jeans. It used to just be that was reserved for the coaches.
Yeah.
Like coaches could do T-shirts and shorts because they were the ones that were outside.
Got it.
And they can't, you can't be out in a tie.
It makes sense.
Sure. But the coaches kind of got away with it. The coaches that only coached the sports after school kind of got away with it too.
Yes,
even though they didn't have to coach during the day. You put on a little school pride. Nowadays, I think it's turned into a little too lax. But it's the thing that if we want to be viewed as professionals, if we're gonna fight that fight, we have to dress the fight. We have to act the fight. We have to, it's just the way you can't sit here and go, I'm a professional and be in a Nike Just Do It t-shirt and, Umbro shorts and Crocs and demand respect. I just don't think and again, maybe that's an old way of thinking, but
I see your point. Now, let me ask a silly question from a parent's point of view. Is there a dress code for teachers?
So there is, but again, I think it's gotten more lax over the years.
So you're allowed to do these things?
You're not. It's not really like you're not.
Oh, okay.
But they are.
Got it.
It's what are you going to do? Fire me?
Wow.
You don't have anybody to replace me, bro. I'm showing up in my Baywatch tee. I don't care. It's the way it is.
That's funny.
But that's the mentality, and I don't know. I don't know if I agree with it. I don't know if I do, but I noticed pulling up at my son's elementary school, and elementary is a little different. And the reason I kind of say, okay, maybe for elementary is it's so disgusting.
Oh, really?
And what I mean by that is you have kids that have boogers and crayons and paint and kids that are throwing glitter all over and it's very dirty down in the elementary. So maybe some things that you don't want to get disgusting,
Yes.
So maybe I'll give you a little, but every day I see, sweatpants and t-shirts as I'm pulling up to drop off my kid. And I just feel like maybe there needs to be a little wrangling of that and go, okay, maybe not sweatpants and t-shirts. What else can you dress in that's a little more comfortable, but gives you, a professional edge?
I like that. Maybe add a vest to your tank top.
Maybe. A vest to your tank top. Yeah, or not. I'm going to be honest. If I walk in and it looks like Chippendales, I'm going to be like, wait a minute.
Wait a sec.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But the dress code thing, especially because we code kids.
Yes, you do.
I mean, if you're going to code the kid, why can't you get coded? I will say that's one, and I'm not meaning to complain about teachers this time, but there's just a few things that when I was teaching bothered me. One thing was not honoring the dress code, and the second thing was acting like the kids. It's like you tell the kids to be quiet, and then we go to assemblies, and the kids... we're acting like the kids.
Yeah.
The teachers are talking. It's like, 1, 2, 3, all eyes on me, and the teachers are just blabbering on. And it's like, be respectful. Don't talk when They're supposed to be, you tell your kids not to do this.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, practice what you
and
preach.
Plus, if we're, and the phones, I mean, just sitting in the back, just like, oh, that's important? Yeah, okay. and it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what not to do.
Gotcha.
But right now, in this day and age, we're fighting for more respect as teachers. We need to respect ourselves,
Yes.
respect the profession, respect where we're at, and be professionals.
Yes.
That's all I ask.
And Devin, let me close out by saying you're absolutely right, man. You got to dress a certain way if you want respect. I will say, you know who does need a dress code?
What?
Parents. Okay.
Parents need a dress.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Some of them show up, and I'm like, yeah, you can't go get your kid in that.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
But we've had some family events at our school with the kids, and family is a very loose term.
Yes, it is. Yes.
It's like, oh, you're wanting a new father for him. I see how you are.
There's something we call putting out a vibe.
A vibe.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go into the teachers in the news. We got a former teacher went viral after sharing on TikTok how she felt about leaving education. And it may not be exactly what you expect to hear, but the funny thing is, I read that headline.
Mm-hmm.
A former teacher went viral sharing how she felt about leaving education. It may not be what you expect to hear. And then I read it, and it was exactly what I expected to hear.
There you go.
She said, I guess I used to be a teacher, and now she works at Costco, which is a well-paying job. And by the way, $1.25 hot dog, banging. My first year not having winter break, I didn't miss it at all. My pace of work for my life is now so much better. I'm not sick or exhausted like I used to be when I was a teacher. When I was a teacher, I used, I just love this line because it's so true. When I was a teacher, I used my winter break to recover. And then I would go into the next semester just surviving. People think that the winter break is a shut off of all things. It's
not.
You can't. It's like hitting the brakes after going 180. You don't stop right now. You skid to the finish line.
Yep.
And then the car's still heated. Everything needs to cool down. And then suddenly they're like, go again. And that's the thing that teachers don't really talk about is the breaks aren't necessarily breaks. They're recovery.
Yep.
And with this Costco thing, she says she feels less stress. And another key word that I saw in her example is sick. She's no longer sick. And that has to do with
your mental health.
The mental. Okay,
yes.
I'm glad, James.
Yes,
thank you.
man.
Because a lot of people would view that. When I read sick, I wasn't thinking, oh, she gets the flu. She sees more people at Costco.
Yes.
She interacts with more customers at Costco than she's ever going to interact with kids.
Absolutely.
And, basically the mental health was her sickness.
Absolutely.
I used to leave with my jaws just locked. And it wasn't from clenching them. It wasn't because I was mad. No. It was because I was so stressed out that my body didn't know where to put the toxins.
That's right.
And it just was all through here.
Yes.
My face would be swollen, my hand. It was so stressful to me that I would leave and feel ill. I would get home and I would have to take naps.
Oh my God.
And the naps were just to reset my mind because it was going a mile a minute and I would have to literally reset it and wake up and go, okay, we're alive. We made it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, again, the TikTok has 4.2 million views. She says she used to be a teacher. Now she works at Costco.
Good for her.
And she said she feels great. So, and again, this is, I also hate saying this because a lot of people go, do you advocate for quitting teaching? If you're sick, if it's affecting your mental health, yeah.
Let's say this. If any job is affecting your health.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Leave. Yes, absolutely.
But a lot of teachers love teaching. A lot of teachers, they were born in it. They were molded by it. That's their thing. They thrive on that stress. Some people, like myself, it wasn't. It ate at me. It was hard, and I didn't cope well with it. And so to those people, I say you might start seeking other employment.
Yeah.
I don't advocate that teachers just mass exodus, but because there's a lot of teachers that love their job.
That's right.
I'm on board with you. All right, this next one. Gosh, I love this one. So this was and I'm scrolling because I'm trying to find the point that I wanted to reiterate on here. The headline was a mom is fired for voicing concerns about her kids. It says that she was a teacher for 10 years, volunteered, and then decided to become a substitute. Couldn't stay out of the class. And apparently, as a substitute, apparently saw that there were some books that were being read to kids. And these books that were being read to kids, apparently there's one called All Are Welcome.
Okay.
And it has several illustrations of same-sex couples that are expecting children or that are together in it. And so apparently this person did not want her kids knowing that same-sex couples exist. It's against her faith, and decided to, she says, and this is, so here's the thing. I can tell you're lying by how much you explain how good you were. Now, what I mean by that is she said, I simply asked that they be excused from the read aloud program. I was voicing my concerns as a concerned mom. I was fired and terminated because I expressed genuine concern as a parent about something happening in my children's school. When you are telling me how nicely you did it, that tells me you didn't do it that nicely.
Yeah. That's when someone's like, hey, no offense.
Yes.
Offense comes right after that.
It comes after that. Yeah. That's I was reading this and I was at first like, okay, it's against your faith, you know. You want to be, she said, I simply wanted my children excused. I wanted to fill out a paper and let them know.
Yeah.
Something tells me that's not how it went down if you lost your job. That's not, you weren't even suspended. You weren't even like, hey, you were fired.
Yeah.
I don't think you went about it the way you think you went about it.
Somebody said you don't need to work here anymore.
So I was just reading that. I get it. You got some faith-based concerns. Sure, you maybe want your kids to bypass that lesson. Whatever. They're going to see it as soon as they turn on the TV and watch one episode of Ellen or How I Met Your Mother, but whatever.
As a parent, I was about to say that point. It's everywhere. It's on the internet. It's on TV, movies.
Yeah, but you don't want your kid to read it. You want, but don't go on and make yourself a martyr and say that this, I guarantee it didn't happen like that. I would love to hear the other side of the story. So if you work in Bryan County and you know the other side of the story, I would love to hear it because this is not how it went down. Anytime I read a versed letter about how awesome you were, and I was on that plane and they took me off, and I was just expressing my concern with the way the pilot was handling things.
Gotcha.
And then you get the video and they're shouting racist epithets and just throwing punches, and you're like
in the cockpit.
Literally just, I'm taking the steering wheel. Like that's the mentality. That's what I'm
Absolutely,
envisioning. Yeah.
bro.
So all right, let's go on to the next to last. The last one I got something funny with. This one, a teacher is trying to reduce the financial burden and the debt of school meals. Apparently, this teacher is looking to pay off the debt. Apparently, they raised quite a bit of money and wants local and community businesses to help. Now, here's the thing that bothers me. There is a debt at the school. This is a school that has a lunch debt of $7,000.
How does that happen?
The kids basically, I've seen my own kid do it. They buy breakfast or lunch, and they buy it with a pin. And if the money's not in there, they're not going to not feed them. They go into the negative. And when it goes into the negative so much, we get a letter. I didn't know because one of my kids, we've been giving him lunch for weeks, and we didn't know he was taking his lunch and eating it while he was there.
Oh, remind me to high five him when I see him.
So when I went in to put some money, because they eat breakfast there, they like the breakfast. They eat breakfast at our home, by the way, and then eat there too. Trust me, these are growing children. I pay for the breakfast, and I log in, and I'm like, negative $40. I'm like, I got to pay $40 just to get you out of the hole. I'm like, why have I been making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all this time? And so, you look at it and you try to, you pay. Gotcha. But some kids and some parents are not in a position to pay.
No.
And they got to eat. And sometimes they don't, like they used to have where they would automatically give you free or reduced lunch based on your income status.
I remember that.
But now, hoops, bureaucracy, you got to fill out the forms, you got to be approved. And not a lot of parents do that. And they forget that the kids got to eat. And
I often forget my kids need to eat.
Yeah. So negative. So yeah, it's apparently the poverty level is pretty high there, and people are having to pay with. So this teacher's trying to find out a way to pay for it and asking local businesses to help out.
She's basically subsidizing it herself.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
the teacher wants to erase the student meal debt. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I really hope that they eventually go to a national or statewide free lunches. Just give the kids the food.
Gotcha.
Just take the burden off the parent to remember, and I have to go in and log in and pay this and pay that. Just give the kids the food.
I'm with you on that one.
Give the kids the food.
I'm with you.
I don't understand. So, all right, this last one, and then we'll go into the final part. Tennessee. We talked about already a new teacher initiative that they had. Well, apparently it's gone to more schools where they're trying to get more teachers. University of Memphis is offering a bachelor teacher's apprenticeship pathway. And Memphis Public Montessori, I've heard of that before, apparently offers a license-only pathway. And this is part of Tennessee's new initiative to get more teachers in the classroom.
Okay.
Whether it's going to work, I don't know. But I think it's funny. Do you know what they call it? The Grow Your Own Teacher Initiative.
Oh, wow.
The Grow Your Own.
We're growing them now.
We're growing the teachers. Growing the teachers. And I don't know if you've heard of it. But you can grow your own teacher, Mr. Yon. Have you heard of the new pitch? They're trying to grow your teachers. You haven't heard of it? No. Have you ever dreamed about having your own teacher at home? Well, now you can with Tennessee's new Grow Your Own Teacher initiative. We mail out the teacher seeds directly to your home. Teacher seeds are carefully cultivated using genetically modified meerkats and free-range owls.
No.
You can plant a teacher in your garden and water it daily with wine and coffee. You only have to water them once, as they cry often, and they will water themselves. Now, if you want to grow a teacher extra fast, you can fertilize it with donuts from the break room.
Oh, nice.
The best part about teachers is that they grow in any climate. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, they're accustomed to having zero sunlight and can adapt to cold or heat with simple application of a cardigan. When your teacher fully blooms, they will emit a lovely fragrant aroma of crayons and construction paper, followed by a death bloom where they smell like Axe body spray and tackies at the end of the day. But be careful, though. The teacher plant only blooms once a year during the summer months, and throughout the rest of the year, they can grow angry thorns that deter socialization. Now, do not plant a teacher near a politician vine. The roots from the politician vine will try to eat the teacher plant alive, and the bloom will attract donations.
All right.
The unfortunate truth about teacher plants is that they do not produce seeds for more teacher plants. The last thing a teacher wants is their offspring to become another teacher. So, yeah, it's not happening. But you can place your order today for a Grow Your Own Teacher initiative, and we will throw in a LeBron James hairline chia pet today. Where will it grow? Will it grow at all? No one knows. Order online.
Very nice.
Grow Your Own Teacher initiative. James, you're a pleasure as always, my
Thank
friend.
you, man. I appreciate you, brother.
How can people find you online?
Please go to Instagram. Follow me, James Yon Comedian. That's YON. Follow me. I need more people like you.
Yes, absolutely. And you can follow me, Devin Siebold, online. Be sure to submit your ideas. I get a lot of news and things like that sent to me, and I share it. I obviously write about it. I try to make it into something, and I don't know everything that's going on, so I appreciate you guys informing me. So message me on my personal or Crying in My Car, all the channels there. Don't forget, you can hire me for keynotes and for PDs at all your schools as well, and be sure to check me out on tour with the Board Teachers Comedy Tour. Thank you so much. James, you got stuff coming up too, the Funny Not Famous
Funny
show.
Not Famous on my show, Afro, actually the channel Afro. You guys can definitely check that out. Some of the funniest comedians from around the country. You just never heard of them yet.
Yes, and I was one of them.
That's right.
And you still
And
haven't
look
heard
at
of me.
Devin now.
I know, right? Thank you so much for tuning into this week's Crying in My Car podcast for teachers. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. There might be a clip up there. There might be a clip down there. If it's got our face, if it's other people's stuff, come back. Don't click on that, But us, suggested things, that's us, Crying in My Car, Devin Siebold, James Yan, board teachers, watch. New trailer for Indiana Jones. No, don't do that. Don't do that.